Welcome back to our studios in New Delhi. In this segment, we have address by most eminent venerables and distinguished leaders from different countries. We begin with welcome address by Venerable Dr. Dhammapya, Secretary General IBC.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Buddho loke samupanno hitaya sabbapaninam Dhammo loke samupanno sukhaya sabbapaninam Sangho loke samupanno parijagaya sabbapaninam. It is the rarest of rare things in the history of time for a Buddha to be born. And the arising of the Buddha is indeed great blessings for all living beings. Whenever a Buddha is born, he teaches the universal Dhamma, non-sectarian Dhamma, the middle path, avoiding all extremes, avoiding violence of all sorts, the Dhamma which is conducive for attainment of peace, tranquility, harmony, and freedom from misery and suffering, physical or mental. The Arya Sangha always carry out the act of renunciation, sacrifice, and serve for the welfare, benefit, and happiness of all, whether human or non-human alike. Venerable members of Mahasangha, Shri Narendra Modi ji, Honorable Prime Minister of India, Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa ji, Honorable Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Shri K.P. Oli ji, Honorable Prime Minister of Nepal, Shri Prahlad Singh Patel ji, Honorable Minister of Culture and Tourism, Government of India, Shri Kiren Rijiju ji, Honorable Minister of State for Minority Affairs, Youth and Sports, Ayush, Independent Church, Government of India, Ms. Namin Chimbatji, Honorable Minister of Culture, Mongolia, Dr. Tandi Dorji ji, Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs, Bhutan, Dr. Sachidanand Joshi ji, Member Secretary, IGNCA, Minister of Culture, Government of India, Professor Dr. Shashi Balaji, Venerable Dangchup Choden ji, Deputy Secretary General, IBC, brothers, sisters, and friends in Dhamma, a very happy Buddha Purnima, happy Vesak Day to you all. On behalf of IBC, International Buddhist Confederation, and on behalf of Ministry of Culture, Government of India, today on 26th May 2021, on the auspicious occasion of Buddha Purnima, the full moon day of Vesak, from Arya Desha, the homeland of Buddha, India, I welcome you all to this virtual celebration of most auspicious Buddha Purnima Divas, which is also celebrated as UN Day of Vesak, Buddha Jayanti Day, or Buddha Day in different parts of the world. The full moon day of Vesak marks three important events, the rarest things that took place in the life of Gautama the Buddha. The birth of Siddhartha Gautama, attainment of full enlightenment, Samma Sambuddha, and the last day, passing away into Mahaparinibbana of Sakyamuni Buddha. One of the qualities of the Buddha, known in Pali, the ancient language of India, is Sattva Deva Manusana, the boundless, compassionate, and incomparable teacher and guide for human and non-human alike. The Buddha was not Almighty God. He was supremely enlightened, awakened, and Samma Sambuddha. As a compassionate teacher and guide, the Buddha taught us to observe and be mindful of everything around, mindful about our intention, to be mindful about our thoughts, to be mindful about our actions, to avoid harmful and violent intention, thoughts, and actions, and cultivate peaceful and positive thoughts and action. He taught us about Kamma Vipaka, to be responsible for one's own action and not to attribute the responsibility for bad outcome or bad deeds, evil deeds to some external agency or God or to any other person. The Buddha also taught us the interdependent nature of our existence, that if we are to exist happily, allow others to live peacefully. I would like to acknowledge the support and relief materials such as oxygen concentrators, PPE kits and gloves, N95 masks, etc. being received by IBC Care with Prayer Relief Mission from Suchi Charity Foundation, Taiwan, Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia, Wandhani of Indonesia, donors from Singapore and many other countries to combat the surge of second wave of COVID-19 in India and Nepal. Once again, I wish you all very happy Buddha Purnima and Vesak Day. Be happy, healthy, and stay safe. Bhavatu Sabba Mangalang. Thank you so much.
We are extremely honored to have with us Shri Narendra Modi, Honorable Prime Minister of India, to deliver the keynote Vesak address. The Honorable Prime Minister of India.
Respected members of the venerated Mahasangha, Prime Ministers of Nepal and Sri Lanka, my minister colleagues, Sri Prahlad Singh and Sri Kiran Rijiju ji, Secretary General of International Buddhist Confederation, Venerable Dr. Dhammapriya ji, respected scholars, Dhamma followers, sisters and brothers from around the world, Namo Buddhaya, Namaste. I am honored to address you all on the special day of Vesak. Vesak is a day to celebrate the life of Lord Buddha. It is also a day to reflect on the noble ideals and sacrifices he made for the betterment of our planet. Friends, last year also I had addressed a Vesak Day program. That program was dedicated to all frontline workers leading humanity's fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. A year later, we are seeing a mix of continuity and change. The COVID-19 pandemic had not left us. Several nations, including India, have experienced a second wave. This is the worst crisis humanity faces in decades. We have not seen a pandemic like this for a century. This once in a lifetime pandemic has brought tragedy and suffering at the doorstep of many. The pandemic has impacted every nation. The economic impact is huge as well. Our planet will not be the same after COVID-19. In the times to come, we will certainly remember events as either pre-COVID or post-COVID. But over the last year, there have been many noteworthy changes as well. We now have a better understanding of the pandemic, which strengthens our strategy to fight it. Most importantly, we have the vaccine, which is absolutely important to save lives and defeat the pandemic. The emergence of a vaccine in a year of the pandemic striking shows the power of human determination and tenacity. India is proud of our scientists who have worked on the COVID-19 vaccines. Through this forum, I would like to once again salute our first responders, frontline healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, volunteers, who selflessly risk their lives every day to serve others in need. To those who have suffered and lost their near and dear ones, I would like to extend condolences. I grieve with them. Friends, by studying the life of Lord Buddha, there is mention of the 4 sights. These 4 sights brought Lord Buddha face to face with human suffering. At the same time, it ignited within him the desire to devote his life to removing human sufferings. Lord Buddha taught us, Bhavatu Sabba Mangalam, blessings, compassion, and welfare of all. In the last year, we have seen several individuals and organizations rise to the occasion and do everything possible to reduce suffering. I have also learnt of the generous contribution of equipment and materials made by the Buddhist organizations, followers of Buddha Dharma from world over. The scale, both in terms of population and geographical space, of the task is huge. Humanity has been humbled by the outpouring of generosity and support from fellow humans. These actions are in line with the teachings of Lord Buddha. It manifests the supreme mantra of Appadipo Bhava. Friends, COVID-19 is certainly a major challenge we face. While we do everything possible to fight it, we must not lose sight of the other challenges humanity faces. One of the biggest challenges is that of climate change. Reckless lifestyle of the present threaten the coming generations. Weather patterns are changing. Glaciers are melting. rivers and forests are in danger. We cannot let our planet remain wounded. Lord Buddha put emphasis on a way of life where respect for Mother Nature is paramount. I am proud to share that India is among the few large economies to be on track to completing their Paris targets. For us, sustainable living is not only about right words, it is about the right actions. Friends, the life of Gautam Buddha was about peace, harmony, and coexistence. Today, there are still forces remaining whose existence depends on spreading hate, terror, and mindless violence. Such forces do not believe in liberal democratic principles. The need of the hour is for all those who believe in humanity to come together and defeat terror and radicalization. For that, the path shown by Lord Buddha is absolutely relevant. Lord Buddha's teachings and the importance given to social justice can become a global unifying force. He rightly said, Natti Santi Paran Sukham. There is no higher bliss than peace. Friends, Lord Buddha was the reservoir of brilliance of the entire universe. From him, we all could draw light from time to time and take the path of compassion. Universal responsibility and welfare. Mahatma Gandhi rightly said about Gautam Buddha, and I quote, Buddha taught us to defy appearances and trust in the final triumph of truth and love. Unquote. Today, on Buddha Purnima, let us renew our commitment to the ideals of Lord Buddha. I join you all in praying to the triple gem to provide relief from the testing times of global COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We now have for you address by Most Venerable Abhidhaja Maharatha Guru Sayadaw Dr. Asin Nayanasara, Founder, Sitagu International Buddhist Missionary Association and Chancellor, Sitagu International Buddhist Academies, Myanmar.
Message of a greeting by Most Venerable Dr. Nyanesra at the ceremony commemorating the 2610th birthday anniversary of the Buddha, New Delhi in India. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, may I extend my loving kindness to all highly respected Buddhist venerable monks and all religious leaders around the world, all Buddhist brothers and sisters around the world, and particularly to His Excellency Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, and his cabinet member, with a wish that you all be free from the three catastrophes of diseases, weapon, and famine. According to the Buddha, greed, anger, and ignorance are the root causes of the said three catastrophes. So I wish all people of the world manage to control these three root causes, greed, hatred, delusion, in order to they will lead happy lived daily. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a 2610th birthday anniversary of the Buddha, and also known as the Buddha's Day. Today, which is threefold sacred day, is the most significant and auspicious day for the Buddhist world, since Prince Siddhartha Gautama was born, attained the supreme enlightenment, and passed into pre-nibbana or final demise on this very full moon day of May, known as Vaisakha Purnima, better known as Vaisakha in the Buddhist world. Therefore, I would like to take this opportunity of the expressing my special thanks to the government of the India for organizing this great occasion in honor of the Buddha. My dear brothers and sisters, as a matter of fact, Buddha and his Dhamma were born in India. It is just a matter of pride, honor for ASEAN, saying not only the Buddha, but also the founder of other religions were born in Asia. I think it is not hyperbolic if I say Asia is the continent, Asia is the noble continent. Ladies and gentlemen, India has been over 2,600 years since Siddhartha Gautama the Buddha perished. However, the Dhammatta he led, which originated in India, has spread to all parts of the globe, is still flourishing. And here I would like to express that it is a duty of all Buddhists for the Dhamma life the Buddha led not to fade away, nor to extinguish, but to be shining continuously brighter and brighter than before instead. Here, I would like to quote a piece of the Buddha's teaching, which is said, due to greed, due to hatred, due to anger, due to delusion, in the heart of the human being, the whole world is trembling and shaken. The whole world is smoky. The whole world is internally burning. The whole world is totally blaze with a flame. The whole world is needy. So, I would like to strongly urge that with a systematic and sustainable practice for the Buddha's teaching, let us change unstable one to stable one. Let us beautify the world by removing the smoke of the defilement. Let us put out internal and external burning of the whole world. Let us fulfill need of the people. With this earnest appeal, I conclude my Buddha's Day message. May the sublime Dhamma prevail in its prestige and purity in every corner of the world. May all beings be peaceful and happy. Thank you all.
Next we have Fra Deva Sakya Wongsa Pandita, also known as Dr. Anil Sakya, Honorary Rector, World Buddhist University and Vice President for Foreign Affairs and Global Engagement, Mahamakut Buddhist University, Thailand.
Most venerables, venerable Most venerables, Your Excellencies, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm very honored to be with you here today on this virtual Buddha Purnima Divas 2021 and commemoration of the UN Day of Vesak at this virtual gathering organized by the International Buddhist Confederation and Government of India. My sincere thanks to Venerable Dhammapiya and the Government of India for putting their effort together to organize this virtual Vesak commemoration and invited me to say a few words. Today, I am ever so delighted to see how the Sakyamuni Buddha's teaching have been instrumental in building sustainable peace in this world. In this age of disruptive technology, we can see that the word Buddhism is not important as its teaching itself. When we use the word Buddhism, it really reflects only the idea of a religion. But in this age of the modern age, in this 21st century, we have been seeing that when the word mindfulness, the sustainable peace, the ultimate peace, that is the very word we are referring to, the gist, the essence of Buddhism itself. So therefore, we can say very proudly that the teaching of the Buddha itself has been universalized, not only as a religion for Buddhist practice, but it is a teaching which can be practiced by all humanity in this planet. The significance of the Vesak is all about the three events of the Buddha. That is the birth, the enlightenment, and the date of the Buddha. Although we look from the historical perspective in that sense, but in more holistic perspective, we can take it as the practice of the triple gem, that is the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. The rise of the Buddha, the appearance of the Buddha itself in this world give us the value of humanity in a sense that human is an independent agent. It is not the slave of the God. The Dharma, which is again the second triple gem, is basically means the gist of the enlightenment itself. Dharma, the second triple gem, is the another word for the enlightenment. When we think of the word enlightenment, it is something that which can really put us above our own intellectual. That is the word Buddha. Buddha, in a simple sense, means intellectuality. So therefore, if we can understand, if we can answer who we are from the inner sense, that is the essence of the Buddha. In another word, the Dharma can be translated as sustainability. Because the word Dharma, in fact, when you look from the etymological point of view, it is a dra or it is a tenor in Latin. From the word tenor, it developed to be the word sustainable. Especially these days, we are talking about sustainable development. So therefore, etymologically, the word sustainable development, which is the agenda of the United Nations, is happen to be the same word as Dharma Chakra in Pali or Sanskrit. The tenor in Latin and dra in Pali basically means that upholding, balancing. So development means that to move forward with a firm ground. That is the exact word of the Dharma Chakra. However, in Buddhism, it goes one step further. That is the Pavattana, which basically means that sustainable development is not an ideology, but it is a practice which can transform yourself from the uncivilized to be civilized, from underdeveloped to be the developed one. The third triple gem is the Sangha. Sangha means that a group. Sangha means community. After the death of the Buddha, the legacy which Buddha left us is the group of the Sangha, which transform themselves by following his teaching of the Dharma, that principle. So therefore, the Sangha is a group of the people who practice sustainable development in action. So therefore, this is the three refuges or the triple gem of the Buddha, which we remind on this Vaisakha Puja day. The significance of Vesak is to fulfill our humanity, just as today we are talking about the Buddha Purnima, the fullness of the Buddha, the fullness of intellectuality. So therefore, with the practice of the Buddha Dharma Sangha, with the practice of sustainable development in actions, let us fulfill ourselves. Let us fulfill our humanity to be the intellectual one, to be the awakened one, to be the Buddha. That is how we celebrate our Vesak Day. Happy Vesak Day. Thank you.